Hey there, everybody. Ready for your Freaky Friday? I can tell you, you are. Because when I'm taking a little background check to see what's going on, to get the channel flowing, the energy going, to see where we're going to go, you did a full flip of 180. Whatever that card was, you're like, don't need it. Don't need it, because what I do know and what I need to know is that you've been hermit mode for some time, and this has been an overwhelming hermit mode, like being stuck, like spell cast on, like generational curse, like being overtaken, overrun with bills and time crunches and disenfranchised situations, leveraged relationships. No, that ain't love. But what I can tell you, you're saying, take a peek at our heart on it. Take a peek at our heart. And if you know, this is the True Heart Tarot. Fantastic deck. 3 discs. This is us getting in it together. Because as you know, if you've been here before, my name may be Joy, but this isn't my joy to our world. This is all our joy to our world. That is what is wrong with our world today. It is sick. It is love sick. It is joy sick. Look inside yourself. When we hit a bumpy patch or a rough time or stuff like this shiz going on here, first thing out the window is our joy. We start drying up, holding up, turning in, and it's like a reaction as opposed to a response. So this channel has come about to fuel us up with the ability to respond. Look at these credit cards saying yes, whether it's this or whether it's kind of like the post office. If you're in North America, rain, shine, sleet, or snow, come on, baby, let's go. And now I heard, I think it's the Diana Ross song, I'm coming out, coming. I want the world to know, I gotta let it show. For who? For you. Fulfillment, satisfaction, the yes almighty, amen. Okay, so this hermit where you did the full 180 and turn around, you said, take a peek at the true heart. Tell us what is in the center of our chart, in the center of our eye, the apple of our eye, and let us know what's really going on behind this. And it is some old crap, some old ways of dealing with things. Again, the reaction as opposed to response. You can see an inverted 9 of swords, but you're ready to bury the hatchet and be done with this day, because there's something waking up in your heart. This is the eyes of your heart. No longer trying to go from here and going from intuition and empath and other things, but no, awakening the eyes of your heart, your instinctual self, your intelligence, your imagination. Like that. Friend, freaking up our Friday in here. And now we're going to hit a couple of cards from many of the decks, because I can feel a lot of flavors coming on in. There's some spicy ones. There's maybe some fire signs, or the fire in your sign, who's like, oh, we want some sexual magic tarot. And then there are those who, we want the love, we want the color of life, we want some background information. So it's all here. It's all coming for you. So stick around, okay? Because you never know what kind of turn this place is going to take, but it is always for you, friend, and for me, our whole world, the whole crayon box, the whole color of love. Now, what's funny is these 2 cards came together. This one first, doing away with this and replacing it with this. Because what I can tell you, if you try and do energy work or things like that, a lot of times we're focused on clearing out what we don't want. No. When you work with energy, you need to see what you want to bring in. It is a displacement, a replacement. It's almost like if the scales, the weights begin to displace, that dip down, that suction, that vacuum creates another black hole, another trigger of the button, a redo, restart around the mountain one more time type energy. So what you do is you just flush it out. And so we're flushing out that old fuggery, okay, with this new love. This 4 of Wands is amazing and fantastic. It's being on the same page. It's eternal love showing up, very much the wave of plasma. Life's vote for you, saying, I'm on your side. I'm on the same page with you, both in your earthen heart, the blood beating heart in your body that nourishes this, as well as the pink, the high heart, the thymus, your imagination, that is the pulse of life. It's you working together with life, and life working together with you to create that perfect circuit, heaven and earth connected right here. Okay, so Black Pit Man haven't been out but a couple of times in this channel. Oh, look at her. Who's the king showing up here? I love it. Look at that. Kind of like they say, angel in the kitchen, devil in the bedroom. I don't know who has their springtime fever turn up, but I see you. All right, we'll ride it, baby. Well, not that. I meant the wave of spring. You ride whatever you want to ride. That is your prerogative. It sounds like we're having a flashback to the 60s, 70s, and 80s going on in here. I don't even know who's spinning the records. But Black Pitman, y'all. I was like, do y'all want to be part of the freaky deaky? Out, boom, out these came. I mean, just like feet on your guide, your spirits, your angels, and even on yourself, because our feet are what indicate our beauty. It's beautiful when we align our feet and our mind, get them on the same page, just like the registry of alignment, the chakras of heaven on earth, that energy being one and the same. So we have some wand energy coming up in here, some fulfillment coming on, and some ace of cups, some satisfaction and fulfillment coming in. And now this is already activated, y'all, because showing up with the black, red, and white, we're talking stage 3 going on. That's the developmental movement for it in the next and final stage, is when we step into that 4th dimension. Okay, when heaven and earth fully connect and like commit, remain, abide, come alive. And that's where we come alive, is in our heart. This is the 4D. So this has to do with all the blood, sweat, and tears, all the hopes, dreams, and fears, all the years, the wondering, the waiting, you know, the reacting, the putting off, the relegating, all those energies dissipating out. And so you want to get a rune on this. I see the one trying to come out in my hand. I'll set you there. Who coming out? The self. It's talking about abide, willingly abide, to allow yourself. Let me tell you, you did the full 180. So just let your energy, your mind, your soul open up to go from this to this. Life loves you, friend. That's what they want you to know. Life loves you. You're talking about pull off this deck. Let's see. Look at you. No more eye of the needle, but now magic wand. Going from the magician to the magician. And you're like, okay, Joy, well, whatever. Well, the magician is the power of the one, the power of the self, okay? Coming through the fool, but no longer being played the fool unto death, in order to go through the full cycle again, to keep the wheel turning, to make your wheel turn, to make life lessons, to earn, to deserve. Bullshit. No, bull script. I'm caught up on that, because we're awakening the power. This is the power of joyousness. You see the energy moving around her, around this person, man or woman. This is you stirring up the atmosphere, that wave of plasma, that wave of love, and willingly choosing, because that's what it's talking about here. Willingly abide. The color of the will is the yellow. It's down the whole belly. It's where your sun shines from, not the sun of your chart, okay? That's up here, but this has to do with the will, the sun of your whole self. The eye of God. Y'all got me all stirred up. I'm stirring up in this joy, and I'm telling you, life is stirring up in regards to. So let's get this coming in. No more eye of the needle of having to pass tests and do things like that to earn, to deserve, the sacrificial, martyr, victim, whatever, seesaw of life, flow and growth. Okay, dropped right into your lap. When you flow, you grow. What flow is that? Happiness. And you could be like, Joy is greater. Let me tell you, Joy is an overcomer, y'all. Joy means to have to overcome, the strength at the end, but happiness is our bloodborne right. When we're talking about this energy over here, the alchemy of life, because red and white, when we're talking about energy magic, comes together, heaven and earth, it equals green. When we get into our bloodborne right, our spiritual inheritance, okay, of our destiny, which was when we were divine on the other side, we could look down over everything and go, oh, I know I want to do this and that, whatever. Outside of space and time, we knew what we were talking about. But then we lay in here, bump our head. We're raised by people who are going through their own thing, and we forget a few things. But when we start to wake up, we begin to move in the power of our permission and our authority, which is our divinity, our power of choice. That begins the golden self, the stirring up of this. And so when you begin to flow in that, that is this joyousness. That is the fabric of your DNA, of your spiritual DNA, of the destiny and divinity coming together, which is the great alchemy. That is when your cells return to your spiritual DNA, which is happiness. The fabric of our being, our energy, our light body is happiness. Just like this is cotton, okay? This is velvet. Your light body is happiness, okay? So enough on that. So when you flow, you grow. That flow is your unseen powers. It is that trust and know thyself energy coming on in. Okay, friend? So I will get to sexual magic in just a minute. Some of you better be careful. It sounds like you could be drinking tonight when you're trying to find that. You don't have to alter your state to be loved or to love or to be lovable. Let me tell you, this is the energy shift you need to make. Permit yourself to be happy, to be full, to be goldness, to know who you are, know that you awesome. That's right. What's this going on? Say what? Okay, so you fell into my lap, the Chariot. That divine reciprocation is your head and your tail. Okay, that's that thing, because we are hinting at what's going on over here. All right, not having to alter your state in a distorted way that it causes you to lose a great sense of self and clarity in order to let some hidden things rise up. You're talking about being able to do it just by the power of presence, the power of choice, choosing to be there, so that it's something that's life-giving and not life-taking. All right, that's why there's a thing called a hangover. There's a thing called jet lag. But they're talking about the way we can balance and work our energies as intelligently through this divine connection, through the thymus and the high heart gland, through breathing and bringing in the embellishment of life. Okay, so with that, we bring in the Eight of Rods and the Hermit. Ooh. All right, this is you being willing to wait. I love it. But see, with this Eight of Rods coming on in, it means you don't have to wait for long. No, this isn't incoming communication. This is incoming connection. Because communication in its true is a form of connection. But we're so used to thinking communication is just words being passed back and forth. You like, that's this, right? The communication we're wanting is this. Because you want to know what? 4 of those wands are yours, 4 of the wands are theirs. They're owning themselves, owning their happiness. This is like you and the world. This is what it looks like. That is what it looks like, okay? That is this playful, this knowledge, this holding up. You move the relationship into the center. So I'll tell you, friend, you won't have to wait for long. That's what this is symbolizing. That is the power of the flame, and the flame is in your name. In your name. What do you call yourself? Who do you call yourself? Do you call yourself impatient? Do you call yourself chubby? Do you call yourself snarky? Do you call yourself awesome and not be telling the truth? What all do you say to and about yourself? What do you call yourself? How about you call yourself loved, lovable, divine? With that, we get into the affirmation. Y'all, I'm coming out. If you'd like to say it with me, I'm coming out. You're coming out of this old thing that swallowed you up, that see how closed up in your cloak you are, trying to protect your star. You want to know why? This is your star. It is your bloodborne right. It is your right to happiness. The fabric of owning yourself and your spiritual being and the truth of who you are. Knowing your mind completely and implicitly. Knowing that you are loved, not just by others, not just by yourself, but by life itself. The full Trinity. Okay? Now with that, you're saying, let's step into the Black Tarot. Yes, it is here at the bottom. Knight of Swords. Somebody got to bow down. Bow down, bow at the feet. So it's like cutting time, which is interesting because Knight of Swords is one who's really fast, almost cart ahead of the horse, like taking off, blazing in whatever direction feels right, kind of like some of the intoxication going on here. But you're showing me a full commitment to clarity, to who you are. And that clarity brings things in quickly, which we're in the Venusian energy, which is Venus, okay? And Venus is the planet of love and money, not having to sacrifice or put out or get out or distortion or this or that or whatever in order to inherit, to be. Remember, we talked about this energy, irregardless. You're you, you're happy, you're divine. Ooh, there we go, baby. All right, Stairway to Heaven coming on in. Oh, I love it, y'all. I would clap. I got cards up in my hands. Let me see what's happening here. It flew, if you can see, it flew right between this. I'll show you, but then I'll give you the close-up. It flew just like this, y'all. And they're kind of at a kilter, and it went and inserted itself completely between. So that's the one, the full turnaround is literally never going back. That Nine of Swords, that shadow of doubt, that questioning, that mind fuggery going on of the reactionary quality of like turning on yourself, trying to hide your light, trying to hide your delight, your happiness, your joyousness has put you at a disadvantage for many, many years, for a lifetime, really, friend. But we're not counting back, because the moment you give yourself permission to be free, to walk in this joyousness, this gladness self, life begins here now today. And the thing is it is exponential. It begins to move in a state outside of time and space. So there really is nothing lost. It activates who you are right now. Now, I love it because this Four of Wands is showing up as a stairway to heaven. Look at that. Four of Wands. Four of Wands, baby. I told you it was you and them. So I'm telling you, don't get yourself, I'm not telling you drink or not drink. That's up to you. But I'm saying don't get yourself intoxicated where you put yourself at a disadvantage, hoping that some greater qualities of you will show up. You great anyway. You greater than chocolate cake. You're awesome. All right. I love you. So, with that, I will. Okay, fine. I'll step in the sexual magic for a minute, but we got one waiting here. What's we got? All y'all jumping in my lap. Yeah, so laying down the old Fool, and this is one that your passion, your sexuality is something that has bitten you before. Maybe it's something that you've put out in a lot of places, and I don't mean a lot of people, I mean just being open to be desirable. But remember, we're seeing here that desire begins with you, that life desires you, and when you know life desires you and you see yourself in your full magic as the complete prize, at that moment, the happiness of your soul is there. And things that are operating on just a one and done type energy, or love them and leave them type energy, it can't stand in that. Matter of fact, it kind of walks away from it. But there's a sense of happiness, and not like, well, I know I'm better than that. There's none of that. This is a holistic energy. And so that is being put to the wayside of no longer having to be a fool unto death, a fool unto this, to where you blame game on yourself, you frustrate on yourself, and it keeps setting you at a debt. Remember that disenfranchising? No more. Love it. Remember we talked about the Magician. Come on, make sure these aren't illegal, y'all. You know how they are here. He's out clean. All right, so this is the Magician coming on in, wielding your tools, owning your mind, owning your soul, owning your passion, your authority, the worship of life, because that goldness self that we're talking about is owning the life and the love that, owning the love that life has for you. Feeling divine, satisfied, adored. And it's not just here in like a flat disc. It is in your full aura. It's in your complete energy. It's in your whole world, okay? So with that, let's look here, since you got a little taste of what's coming. But that puts you in touch. It's laying over on the edge of this Four of Wands. Two people who meet up like that, who know themselves, who are believing for heaven here on earth, and not thinking it's something removed from them, but they're owning it, their goalness self. So whether this is in business, I know for many of you, this is going in the intimate realm of like sexual intimacy, your lover, your love partner, that type of thing. But also relationships are divine connections when that mirror soul is going on, along with like business partner, family members, community, that type of thing. But when you step into your goldness self, you are a connector. Why? Because you committed to you. You committed to heaven on earth. You have allowed, permitted, and remained willingly, okay? And that's what causes this light of day to shine off in the horizon. This bright light, day or night, to come on in. This is the Three of Wands. And what I love is it shifts. It's not emotions. It's not water. It's not somebody else's body or power. It is you walking this journey, this divinement of knowing that you have the clarity of mind, and not just a thinking mind, but your intelligence, that divine connection, the relationship with life. Okay, so let's see, since we brought in the Antique Anatomy as well, what have we got going here? Thank you. Oh, y'all, it hit a Mary L, so we're going to look at them together because they're both face down. I'll look at them with you. Let's see. Ooh, just talk about your throat. Let your truth come into being. To be living it, because believing is to be living. Remember, we were talking about the feet being happy feet because they're going in the same direction as your mind, that dancing self, your full blood-born earthen, right? Because when you chose to embody, you chose to bring heaven here to earth. Okay. And after we awake from bumping our heads and we begin to remember who we are and own our authority and our permission and our power, then we don't continue to be played out in these old energies. We're not going to waste time there very long at all, especially not when we got this stairway to heaven. We got our connection right here anytime. We got this goldness self, that great energy going on. Well, so this Two of Wands is that old barrenness, but I can tell you it was like a long drawn out state of winter, of hibernation, of waiting. Okay. All this water coming with you, baby. What? That is the wetness of your soul. You be juicy. And that's going to come and make juicy fruit on these trees. And if you look closely, those are two beings, these trees. And they hold the stars up in their crown, okay? So where you once had swords, you will now have stars. And you will be among the stars, okay? Because the sun is a star. It is an earthen star, heaven here on earth. Now with that, it brought in the Page of Rods, and this is new beginnings and the inspiration, drawing from things that you loved as a child, things that have stuck with you, whether you kept doing them or not. Because remember what I said, the first thing that goes when buggery comes in, when shizness comes in, is our joyousness. So what I did when I went through that state, I found myself one day going, oh, that's funny, instead of laughing. But I heard it, which meant I had been through that long season of drought, of this hibernation. I'm like, well, next time I'm just going to laugh. So when something was funny, I thought, oh, that's funny. I went, yeah, that is funny. And it didn't take any time before it woke itself back up. That channel became cleared and open. Not only that, but this has to do with activity, movement, moving about, whether it's playing games, whether it's playing sports, whether it's getting together with friends, whether it's doing crafts, biking, roller skating. Like I go roller skating all the time with my person. We go have a good old time with all of our friends. Now they're ready to join in with us, thinking I hadn't thought about that in a minute. But talk about some throwback with was it Donna Summer or Diana Ross? I'm coming out. Just say it. I don't know, y'all. Don't rely on me. The energies use me because it can move straight on through. That's all I got to say. So, ooh, we got the cat. We got intuition coming down here. Spiritually coming out of that darkness. Now, as again, okay, so that they're wanting me there to mention that nothing is lost. That's the thing that will keep you here, okay, by choice, is to focus on what's lost, wondering how to bring it forward, how to heal it, how to whatever. Know that life has had its eye on you all along, is all together, and whatever is worthy is coming with you. Whatever is important, goldness, those seeds are in your soil. They're in your soul, and they will come along. I love it because here, this is called leadership, but really this is a prosperity card for me, and the elephant, about your mind prospering, about your memories being whole, healthy, resonant, jubilant, the 50. For those of you who are 50, jubilate. That means all that was lost in prison, locked up and bound is coming forth and coming out. 50 is a very powerful number. And then 23, the raven. Some of you, we got some masculine power coming up in here. Throat chakra. Power to pollinate with your vocal cords, not just with what you say, but the power of your presence. Remember that barrenness that we had over here is walking in your truth coming forward here. And that is what evokes and awakens the truth to shine forth on you. Because when we're walking our truth, I love now that this fool is upright, owning it as a fool unto life, not one that's a fool unto death, the once bitten, twice shy, but one that's drawn forward by the beauty of the sun, like this type of energy, the Three of Wands, of moving forward in life, that invitation to live and to live freedom, live fulfillment, that type of thing going on. Giving yourself power to say yes. Oh, that's what you're coming out of. You bringing your truth with you. Whoops. Bringing your truth. I like it. You stirring stuff up around here. Okay, friend. So let's get a soul card and a pearl. So surround yourself with a community who can celebrate you. Ubuntu. Look at this. Not people who downplay themselves or wonder about who they are, or still, it's not leaving them alone. It's not judging them and putting them out. It's literally moving forward in this energy, because when you're awake, When you're awake and ready to go up, you don't go clicking the light on whoever else is still sleeping because they get mad at you. They get disturbed, right? So you just move on and you go on and you start living. And now when they're ready to turn the light on, they will, and they will come find you. You'll reconnect. But for now, give yourself permission to be around community that celebrate who you are. Okay, that's what I want you to do. And come to the perfect acceptance with that. Full union with yourself. Trust. Trust. Trust in this. Let's get our pearl. Since I look, we're going to go with this. That empowers you to live. When we choose the point and we abide and imbibe in the truth of who we are, life begins to flourish from there. I love it. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button down below. It is free. As always, hop on this joy train. Put your crayon in this coloring box because we're coloring our world with love here. Love is unconditional. And then the joy springs forth of who you are, your golden self, and all this juicy deliciousness. If you want to share a little bit about what's going on or what you're hoping for, leave a comment or a compliment down below. Even compliment yourself. But always remember to be kind. Stop back by. We have a weekly reading coming out. Also, our Magic Mondays, and as always, all readings are timeless, even if they are dated. I love you. Bye.